Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's now time for the featured bout of the evening. From the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Afternoon, everybody. We are live from West Ferry Circus in Canary Wharf. The sun is shining. There is Canary Wharf, a beautiful day in the city. And we are just a stone's throw away from the O2 Arena, where all the action will take place Sunday night this weekend, live on Dazn. 9 fights starting at 3 p.m. on the Matchroom Boxing YouTube channel, live on platform at 5 p.m. local time on Dazn. This afternoon, we'll be hearing from all the fighters at the press conference, including Lawrence Okolie and Michael CiesLak, who will do battle in our main event in London for the WBO World Cruiserweight title.
The O2, the best venue in the country for boxing. Lawrence Okolie will make the second defence of his title.
This is a stage that I was made for. This is a fight I was made for. I got to make sure that I handle business.
The star, Lawrence Okolie! Do you need any sauce?
Unquestionably the toughest fight of Lawrence Okolie's career so far.
If I believe I'm going to go on and unify the division, I have to be able to beat people like CiesLak and beat them in good fashion.
After a clinical victory over Ziztok Lavatsky. Around this time last year, Lawrence Okolie became the champion. He'd made a defence against Dylan Prasovic. He's been hunting unifications against any one of the three other champions, particularly, though, Darren Myris-Bridis, who has evaded him over the last 6 months in favour of hunting fights with both Canelo and Jake Paul, looking for that big payday. But we have got Myris-Bridis in the studio as part of our broadcast team on Sunday. That has to be a positive thing, but it can't distract Lawrence Okolie, can it?
No. Look, if you're a fan of Lawrence Okolie, or you're part of Team Okolie, or Okolie himself, the future is potentially very, very, very bright. There's options. He's got the option to unify and be the king of the cruiserweight division. He has the option to move up to heavyweight, make bundles of money, and potentially win a heavyweight title. But then, we said this yesterday, and banana skin slips up, and that's Ciesλak. Ciesλak, we see him at the media workout yesterday, full of confidence. You know, the team have big smiles on their face. They're not just up here to make up the numbers. They're here because they really fancy it. He's got his dreams to go on and face Bridis. He's got his dreams of potentially moving up to heavyweight. So he's got to take care of business, Okolie. I expect him to do so. It would be good to get Bridis and Okolie together at some point, but I'm sure they will Sunday evening. So, like I say, he has to take care of business if all of these great options can come reality. Yeah,
by the way, if at any point you hear Darren and I reference Saturday night, we are lying.
Did I say it?
No, you didn't, but I just have a funny feeling that at some point we're going to. It is Sunday night this week, of course, later on in the schedule than normal, so we'll have the weigh-in tomorrow, and then, of course, fight night, Sunday night, live on Dazn. And as I said, 3 p.m. we'll be going live with a number of fights on before the bell. Campbell Hatton will be on there, John Hedges as well, and Big Dempsey McKean too. And then Chev Clark, debutant, will be opening the show live 5 o'clock on Sunday. Part of that Rio Olympic squad, cruiserweight, good character. We saw him yesterday, and a real handful too. He'll be opening proceedings. Fabio Wardley is back in action at heavyweight as well after a very good 2021. Just let a few injuries heal up over the last 6 or 7 months or so, and he's looking to push on towards, I guess, British level by the end of the year. We looked at the potential option of maybe Nathan Gorman for the British title. That would make a bit of sense for both of them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've got to be careful because his opponent's just over my right shoulder. Yeah. And he's a big lump.
Big Daniel Martz, yeah, he is there, come over from the States. Welcome, Daniel. But yeah, he's become, out of pretty much obscurity over about the last 2 years, one of the most touted heavyweight prospects, certainly in the UK, and I say across Europe as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a bit of everything, very, very quick with his hands and his feet, his reactions, carries the power. He can be spiteful. When he's hurt, he can come firing back. He's got that bit of gutsy fighter edge to him,
Yeah.
and he can also move really well. Like, he's a really good boxer, so he's got a bit of everything. I think now for Fabio, it's well documented. He doesn't have much of an amateur pedigree, if any. A few white-collar fights, I think it was.
Yeah.
So he's learning all the time. Experience is the most important thing for him. But another one like Lawrence Okolie, for all of those big fights that happen, the British fights, etc., he's got to take care of business on Sunday.
On Sunday night. Don't forget Sunday night. Don't tune in Saturday. There'll be nothing for you. Galal Yafai also makes his debut as well. Stablemate of Chevron Clark, of Lawrence Okolie, of Anthony Fowler too. Went to the Rio Games with a number of them. Didn't come away with a medal. Was beaten by the Cuban, but came back in Tokyo. Qualified March 2020 in one of the last bouts globally before we went into an international lockdown. Had to sit on his golden ticket to the Games for over 14 months, which must have been absolutely horrendous, especially when you waited a full Olympic cycle. He was so disappointed after Rio because he wanted to get a medal and turn over then, but he stuck at it, and ultimately he got his just rewards, because not only did he come back as part of the most successful Olympic team in probably our history, he was the standout star of the Games, wasn't he?
Without doubt. And yeah, like you say, it must have been difficult for him, the 14 months, because I don't care who you are, and he would have been focused 100% on the Olympics, but there would have been a little bit, half an eye on turning
Shall
pro.
I turn over? Yeah. And I know a few of them were in that dilemma because there was no guarantee the Games was going to go ahead either.
Exactly. And look, we've seen the boom in British boxing, how great it is, and all these young fighters want to be a part of that. But look, what happened. He was a star at the Olympics, and look, I've got to say, I give him so much credit for their decision as a team with Matchroom and Galal himself to go straight into a title fight, a 10-round title fight. And I think, you know, it's almost Lomachenko's set the trend here, and I think we might see some more follow. These real top-class amateurs going into these more meaningful fights straight away, because I don't feel they need as much apprenticeship as some of the other fighters. They're very good fighters. They've done the 5 rounds of WBS. Look, it's a long distance, 10 rounds, but I think someone of his calibre of fighter is more than worthy to be able to do it. Yeah, caught up with Sonny Edwards earlier on this week, of course, world champion, who's been sparring a lot of rounds with him. They had a great contest in the amateurs, I think 2014 or 2015, the ABA semi-finals, and Sonny edged him out, but there was nothing in that fight, and they've had some really good spars over the years. And Sonny said they've done, I think, 4 10-rounders in the last 6 weeks. They've done a couple of 8-rounders as well, and he said Galal is as good categorically as anybody I've been in with. He's got the engine, he has bags and bags of talent, and he said at some point, he said, although we're on very good terms, I'd love us to fight for a world title. So that's maybe one for down the line. But Galal Yafai makes his debut over 10 rounds against the 10-4 Mexican Carlos Fado Bautista, heavy-handed Mexican, coming to win on Sunday night. So that's going to be really interesting. We have also got Anthony Fowler, stablemate of Lawrence Okolie, who moves up to middleweight after defeat to Liam Smith in what was a brilliant fight on Merseyside. And actually, there were more than a few moments in that fight where Fowler looked in control and looked like he was on his way to a stoppage. But that experience from Liam Smith, having been in those deep waters with Jaime Munguia, with Canelo Alvarez at 154, he knew he could weather that storm, and in the end he just had a little bit too much for Fowler, didn't he? Look, I always said he's a big middleweight, Fowler, let alone super welter. Yeah, he's incredible. So he's at a more natural weight now. I think we'll see more from Anthony now at this more natural weight. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him back in action. Yeah, he's up against Polish fighter Lukas Maciek. That will be over 10 rounds, a little bit further up the bill after a couple of fights when we go live. And then a big opportunity for Anthony Fowler's former stablemate, Dave Caldwell's Jordan Gill. We heard from Derek Chisora yesterday, who spent a bit of time in the camp with them in preparation for the Joseph Parker fights. Said what a great young talent Jordan Gill is, and of course he's in great company with Hopi Price, Lorraine Richards as well. The whole gym is thriving, and it's high time that Jordan Gill gets an opportunity of this magnitude against a bona fide European champion. Definitely. Pot of gold's huge here, not just for the title that's on the line, the European title, what could come afterwards, a defence. And then, look, we spoke to Dave Caldwell, we spoke to Jordan himself. He's not far off. He's not that far away from fighting for a world title. So it's so important he takes care of business on Sunday. Yeah, certainly is. John Hedges, as I mentioned, will be on before the bell as well against Alexander Nagolski in his 6th fight. Dempsey McKean will be on there too. Campbell Hatton returns to action, his 6th fight in just under a year as well. Very active 2021 of 5 fights in about 9 months, so a well-earned rest over Christmas for him. And that takes us all the way through then to Lawrence Okolie and Michael Ciesλak, second defence of Lawrence Okolie's WBA Cruiserweight World Championship. It was an excellent performance against, let's be honest, a slightly older Krzysztof Glowacki, whose legs weren't quite what they were, but ultimately he's been a very good, very consistent fighter over the years, and that was a very dangerous, but ultimately a well-timed risk from Shane McGuigan and Lawrence Okolie. It's paid off for them. Oh, absolutely. Great win, great finish. You don't want to go into too much now, but the way bent his knees and throws up right, and just shows how hard he hits. You know, biggest punch in cruiserweight without a doubt. And I just want to see what happens on Sunday now. I'm ready.
Just the one defeat for Michael Cieslak, and that was against Ilunga Makabu, and that was, well, let's say dubious to say the least, but it was on away territory, and I think had it been a little closer to home, he could well have got the decision there. But he is a very, very good fighter, in good form as well. And I'm just hearing that the fighters are at the desk. You can see Lawrence Okolie, I think, behind us, and there is Michael Cieslak, and I think that means we are probably
well. Good afternoon,
go.
everybody, and thanks for joining us here today in London. A great turnout ahead of a huge night of World Championship boxing this Sunday at the O2 Arena in London, live and exclusive on Dazn all around the world. A huge night of boxing planned. Of course, a Sunday, as I said. I've always felt massive potential for Sunday boxing. You'll see it in full action and full flow this weekend, starting at 3 p.m. in London, and the main event expected in the ring around 9 p.m. live on Dazn. Of course, the WBO Cruiserweight World Championship on the line between Lawrence Okolie and Michal Ciesłak from Poland, but a huge supporting cast that we'll talk to now. Many different fighters on the card. I'm going to start with young Campbell Hatton facing Joe Ducker. Campbell, welcome. A great performance last time out in Spain. Looked tremendous yesterday at the open workout, and looking to make another statement at the O2 Arena.
That's it. It was more of what we're used to seeing in the gym when I boxed last time in Bilbao, and it was a lot more relaxed and composed, and I think it's going to be the same again this time. That's the mindset I'm going in with for the rest of my career. I'm not going to be rushing my work, and I've learnt from my mistakes, so looking forward to building on the last performance.
Step up this time, Joe Ducker, and again a British fighter, domestic fight for you. Always brings a different kind of challenge, but feel like you got a chance to build on a great performance in Spain.
Yeah, definitely. I think having an opponent who's going to come to win, and I think he's going to be confident coming into it. He'll have seen me at my worst in the Tottenham fight, and that isn't what's going to be happening again. He'll be really up for it and fancy his chances and leave a few more gaps. And I think when I've got a more ambitious opponent, that'll bring the best out of me.
Joe, you up for this one? Big moment for you at the O2 Arena, fighting Campbell Hatton. Know you're always going to bring the energy to this fight, but a massive opportunity for your career.
Yeah, just can't wait. All the hard work's done. I'm just ready now.
Obviously a chance to fight probably the greatest arena in British boxing, I feel, but also to fight Campbell Hatton. It comes with its own rewards as well. You're confident that you can take this guy apart on Sunday?
Just another opponent to me. It's, I think we've been in with better, so just here to do my job.
We'll move on to the heavyweights. Dempsey McKean, welcome. Dempsey, one of our latest signings from Australia, been in camp in Essex. I mean, firstly, I've got to ask you about leaving Australia and moving to Essex. I mean, that is what I call dedication in itself. But this time, a full camp with Tony Sims in the Matchroom gym there. Last time, of course, you boxed over in Manchester, New Hampshire. But this time, your first full camp and ready for a good fight against Bracamonte on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. It's very excited to be able to spend a bit more quality time under Tony and Peter Sims too. And obviously, since I made the move from the Gold Coast to Essex, a lot of people are calling me quite mad as well, you know, leaving the nice sunshine weather and the beach to come over here to the quite dark and cloudy weather. But, you know, the boxing is second to none here. The sparring I've been getting is quality as well. You know, I've been sharing a lot of rounds with Daniel Dubois this camp, Jamie, another prospect on the way through too. So really keen to get in there and showcase these newfound skills, and I'm quite confident this is going to be a career best as well.
Talk about that move from Australia to the UK. I mean, obviously the shows are more frequent here, there's more opportunities, but is that sparring and the whole preparation a big part of that? You've seen that from Ebony Bridges base herself over here, Sky Nicholson now base herself over here as well, and clearly you feel that the development's going to be stronger for you this side of the pond.
Yeah, 100%. And I can feel that as well after the 8-9 weeks I have spent with Tony too. So I've levelled up a lot as well. And obviously the sparring is a massive contributor to that as well. So we just don't have that quality of sparring back home in Australia. I've never done this much sparring for a prep ever. You know, we're sparring 3 times a week over here with high quality opponents too. So I really just can't wait to get in there. And I'm quite lucky, Eddie, as well. You've made me quite active too. You know, I only fought a couple of months ago too, and got my next one, and we're looking at quite a quick turnaround once I get through Bracamonte. You know, and it's a blessing on its own.
Yeah, 20-0, ranked top 15 with 2 governing bodies in the World Heavyweight divisions as well. These fights, although tough in themselves, are about you moulding with a new trainer before taking that big risk in the summer.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what we're doing. We're gelling with Tony at the moment. We're building up that relationship, and we're working very well together too. So I'm very excited for the future and what it brings, and just can't wait to showcase all these skills on Sunday as well.
Look forward to seeing you in action. Another rising young heavyweight, I believe one of the top heavyweights in Britain right now already, Fabio Wardley. Fabio, welcome. It's been a frustrating period for you, out with injury for a number of months now, but looking forward to getting back to the O2 Arena. Daniel Martz, the opponent, shared the ring with a lot of top heavyweights, but a frustrating period and ready for a big 2022.
Yeah, definitely. Like no athlete, no sports person likes to take time out of the sport they love, but sometimes it's just needed. Sometimes it's what we have to do, and I took that time, and everything's back now. Everything's back firing 100%, and that was the plan, to get on a nice even place and have a really big year this year. And I'm kicking it off with a big one against a good opponent who's been in with some top level operators. So that's the kind of way we're starting things, and I'm only looking to get bigger from here.
Obviously, a lot of people talking about a fight with Nathan Gorman for the British title, but big domestic fights, so being international names, but fully focused on Daniel Martz this Sunday.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of talk about me moving and going towards the British title in a big clash with Nathan Gorman, but never look past the opponent that's in front of me. I've still got a job to do on Sunday, so get through that okay, and then quickly look forward to bigger and better things.
Daniel Martz, welcome over to the UK. As Fabio said, been in the ring with some fantastic heavyweights in your career. This time in with a guy who's certainly less experienced than a lot of those big names that you face, but once again stepping in the ring with a very talented, young, dangerous heavyweight.
Yeah, he's real good. I've been in the ring with a lot of top guys, and I've been getting a lot of good work at home. I've been staying in shape and waiting for the call, and now I got it, and here I am.
Is that important for you? I know that we spoke to your manager, who confirmed that you've been in camp and training for a long time for these fights. Just a case of staying ready. We know that a lot of these rising young stars call your name out as sort of a way to test where they're at in their career, but coming into this fight in great shape.
Yeah. A lot of guys want to test how they do compared to how some of the other top guys have done. And I've just been staying in shape and waiting for the call, and I'm really happy to be here. I appreciate Matchroom bringing me over.
Thank you, Daniel. Another great young rising talent, John Hedges, who I think started with us not long ago as a super middleweight, now nearly up to cruiserweight, and will be eventually heavyweight himself. John, looking tremendous at the workout yesterday. Looked like you're punching really hard now. It's been a great learning experience over the last few fights, boxing internationally as well, and gelling well with Mark Tibbs. Good to be back at the O2 Arena. Obviously fought there in your last fight as well.
Yeah, exactly that, Eddie. I think if you look at my recent performances, each fight I'm getting better and better. And the main thing is, like you say, I'm gradually maturing each fight, and I'm filling the weight out now. So I'm going to go up through the divisions, but at the minute, light heavyweight's good enough. So I'm going to stay there for a little while and, hopefully make a name for myself and show a massive performance Sunday night.
No, you'll have a lot of support there as well at the O2, big fan base as well. But just a word on the Tibbs gym at the moment, flying high. Of course, Johnny Fisher, Ebony Bridges down there as well, with a World Championship fight coming up, and a lot of great talent in the gym.
Yeah, exactly that, Eddie. Do you know what? We all push each other in the gym, and we all work hard, and we're lucky to have a trainer like Mark and his dad Jimmy, and a great S&C coach like Sonny Cannon. So yeah, really, it's only ways up sort of thing. We're all pushing each other. Ebony's got a world title fight coming. Johnny's obviously going to stay active. And yeah, it's a great stable to be part of, and a stable that I'm really excited to be part of.
Look forward to seeing you back in action at the O2 on Sunday. A young man that I cannot wait to see back in action. Chev Clark in front of us here, GB Olympian from Tokyo, tremendous amateur record. Enters a cruiserweight division that domestically is absolutely flying at the moment. Over the last 10 years, we've really had a great experience with young Olympians and young fighters from the GB podium squad coming through. Fighters making their professional debut to the World Championship. Obviously, Galal's brother, Cal Yafai, Callum Smith, Katie Taylor from the Irish team as well, and Anthony Joshua and many others come through. This is a young man I believe can go on and win World Championships at cruiserweight. Chev, it starts for you on Sunday at the O2. Plenty of people coming to watch the journey kick off, ready for action.
Yeah, it's exciting. Ready to go. in terms of the whole experience so far, it's very similar to the GB experience. It's just that there's more media and people watching it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting started.
So many of your teammates stepping up around the same time. Obviously, Galau on the card as well. Lawrence Okolie, former Team GB member. Anthony Fowler, former Team GB member as well. You've got the pedigree of to go on and become a great fighter, but this is like the slate's been wiped clean now. Everything starts for you again on Sunday.
Yeah, it does. People always speak about their amateur experience, but this is a different game. So regardless of what experience I've had there, I'm starting over again, so I just got to treat it accordingly.
And finally, a word on the domestic division. We know you've got a few to go yet, but there's never been a better time to be a British cruiserweight, and there's some huge fights out there for you in 2022 and particularly in 2023 after the learning experience.
Yeah, most definitely. But my mum always told me to mind my business, and right now my business is Sunday, so let's handle that.
Look forward to seeing your pro debut this Sunday at the O2. A middleweight fight that I'm very excited about, Anthony Fowler against Lukas Macic. Lucas, I'll start with you as well. Obviously a strong Polish contingent on this card. There's going to be a lot of Polish support in the O2 Arena, and a great fight for you against Anthony Fowler on Sunday.
Także witam panie Łukaszu. Także jest to wielka szansa dla pana na tej arenie w O2 i będzie pan walczył z Antonim Fowler.
Witam wszystkich. Wiem, że jest to dla mnie wielka szansa i na pewno postaram się ją wykorzystać.
Welcome everybody. I know that it's a big opportunity for me and I will intend to use it.
I know that only a few defeats on the record, but we know that you come always to fight. Very, very tough man, and you're fighting a guy that loves to do the same. We should get a great fight between you two on Saturday.
Ja wiem, że tylko w twoich papierach masz tylko kilka porażek, ale zawsze walczysz bardzo mocno, bardzo dobrze, także powinieneś być w stanie pokonać Fowlera.
Jestem w stanie pokonać i na pewno to zrobię już tą niedzielę. Także naprawdę pokażemy świetny boks i będzie to boks na wysokim poziomie.
I'm able to defeat him and I will show it on Sunday. I will show boxing on the highest level.
Thank you, Lucas. Anthony, welcome. Well documented the move up to middleweight. Yeah. I'm sure although you've got many more pounds to play with this Sunday, it's still going to be a mission to make the weight, as it is for all fighters moving up divisions. They realise it's still not as easy as they thought it would be, even moving up to middleweight. But feeling strong, ready to go, and a great fight for you to enter the division on Sunday.
Mate, I've made the weight so easy this time. I've got a new nutritionist who's been a great help to me, and I'm down here full time with my family now. Drive my family down the ghetto. We're living in this little rough area, like 5 minutes from the gym, but you're going to see a big difference, mate. You've seen my whole career from the start. You're going to see a different animal this Sunday night, because now I'm in the ring fully fueled. I'm just in the best shape of my life. I'm so mentally focused, and this fella's never been stopped, but on Sunday night, mate, I'm going to stop him. I want to break him down and stop him.
Someone was talking to me the other day about potential fights for you at middleweight. Talk about Felix Cash as an example, Chris Eubank, Liam Williams. So many great fights out there for you at middleweight. Obviously, last time out against Liam Smith didn't go your way. We knew it was time to move up, but what can you draw from that experience? I mean, it was a complete sellout at the Echo Arena. The numbers were huge on Dazn as well, and has raised your profile to a level that will enable you to step back into massive fights at middleweight as well.
Yeah, mate, I look back, mate, and I think I showed a lot of weakness that fight. I showed a lot of flaws that I needed to correct, and I think making that weight took a lot out of my performance. Like, I was really disappointed how I faded in the fight so fast, but I had a really bad struggle to get down to the weight. I looked like a crackhead in the scales. I looked really bad, mate, and I've come away, I've rebuilt, and I'm fully focused now, ready for Sunday night. And like I said to you, this is the first fight for years. I've been excited. I'm always sitting here thinking, when is the weigh-in? Like, I can't be asked being here, because I just want to weigh in, and it went really enjoyable for me. I was living on my own constantly. Now my family's down here. I'm fully fueled, and I feel great.
Good. Well, we can't wait to see you back in action at middleweight on Sunday night. Get through Macic and some huge fights ahead in 2022. We go to one of my favourite fights of the night, absolute must-win fight for the European featherweight title, Karim Gurfi against Jordan Gill. Jordan Gill, who's had probably the worst luck I've seen from a fighter over the last 18 months. In fact, with a couple of days to go, I said to Dave Coldwell, let's just keep him in the hotel room. But this is a must-win for both guys. I'm going to start with a champion, two-division European champion, Karim Gurfi. Karim, welcome. A big fight. You've been involved in many big fights over here as well in the UK, and a big opportunity for you to defend your title at the O2 on Sunday.
Bienvenue ici. Demain, ça fait une grande opportunité parce que vous avez gagné 2 catégories au niveau européen. Donc, grande opportunité demain, le dimanche. Comment vous pensez? Parce qu'il a fallu protéger un peu Jordan Gill parce qu'il a connu de mauvaises chances. Il a fallu garder dans son chambre d'hôtel parce que après les blessures et tout ça. Mais à vous, comment vous êtes? Comment vous allez le dimanche?
I can try to speak English little. So first, I'm happy to fight in Matchroom show. Maybe the best promoter in the world. Maybe.
C'est sûr.
I did like you before that, but you know.
I'm ready for this fight. I'm ready. I believe in me. I must prove who I am, why I'm a champion. Jordan Gill is a great fighter, good technical fighter, but I'm ready for him. And I hope Sunday it will be a great fight and victory for me. It's better for me. Yes, it's better.
Very good English, Karim, as well. And
I try.
I'll ask you one more question, if that's okay. We won't use him because he's getting paid per word. So if I just say, just say to you about the move from bantamweight, to featherweight. You looked broken at bantamweight, making the weight. Now you feel very strong up at featherweight, and obviously won the European title at featherweight.
Tu te sens plus fort parce que tu étais presque abîmé à la catégorie de coq. Mais maintenant, tu te sembles plus fort, avec plus vif, quoi.
Yes, in my age, 35 years old soon, bantamweight is really hard for me now. And when I had the opportunity to make the open title for featherweight, I was really happy. And I know I have a level to become an open champion. And today I proved this, and I want to prove more in your show.
Thank you, Karim. Good luck on Sunday. Jordan, we had a fight recently with Daniel Jacobs and John Ryder, and we said in the press conference before that it was must win, and the loser of that fight is kind of finished in terms of their aspirations in the sport because they want to be world champion. I was thinking driving here today, you must win this fight. I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on you. I'm sure you're putting too much on yourself, but this is absolutely must win for Jordan Gill on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why I'll win. I'm looking forward to it. It's a big challenge, and I thrive under pressure. So the pressure is on. I've got to win this fight, and I'm looking forward to it.
How have you kept mentally focused and strong during those periods? I mean, obviously you were flying high. We went to Peterborough. You know, you got ill against Tinoco, lost that fight. Kind of the world came crumbling down. Opportunities presented itself. You know, you got ill again. You came back. Even recently in Liverpool, you know, just a 6-round run out. You had a massive cut on the top of your head. Must have been plenty of times where you thought maybe this is just not meant for me in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, definitely. There's always disappointment. There's always ups and downs in any walk of life. But you know, I'm a stayer, and I'll just stay until the end. Turn up to the gym every day and just do what I have to do. So you know, I feel like this is what's meant to be for me. I'm going to get there. I don't know when, but I'm going to get there in the end. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight.
Life can switch pretty quick and momentum can change, and a big win for you on Sunday can change everything. And with your ability and your experience as well, I kind of feel that a really impressive victory will lead to you moving very quickly in this sport. You know, you've got a great fight coming up. I'm sure you're going to be at both fights. Michael Conlan against Lee Wood, and then Kiko Martinez against Josh Warrington, you know, both in your weight class as well. So many huge opportunities if you can win against Guerfi on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time to be in the division. This is a massive fight. It's a European title. You get this fight won and you're up there. So, you know, it's all to play for. I've had the domestic fights. I've boxed Jason Cunningham. I beat Ryan Doyle for the Commonwealth. I boxed Reece Bellotti, who was Commonwealth champion as well. So this is the next step up, and I feel like I'm ready for this challenge. And then we can move on to bigger and better things.
Well, it's a great fight. The champion, Karim Guerfi, against Jordan Gill for the European featherweight title. Another great fight, and I love to see it, and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous as we approach Sunday, is Galal Yafai, the Olympic gold medalist, who for me was probably the standout talent from the Tokyo Games. Turned pro with Matchroom, of course with his brothers as well, Kal Yafai and Gamal Yafai, incredible family that have achieved so much. And when I sat down with Galal and watched his performances from Tokyo, I just felt like we should do something different. So we started to have the conversation about maybe we start with 8 rounds. Let's be honest, what's the point in Galal Yafai fighting 6 rounds fights? We know we need to develop him, but this young man has all the ability to go out and win world titles very, very quickly. Somehow we agreed to fight 10 rounds. I spoke to Maurizio Suleiman. He was over the moon that Galal Yafai was going to make a statement like this coming off a gold medal. This fight for the WBC international title. And all of a sudden, Carlos Bautista gets the pick, someone who's never been stopped, someone that's been thrown in the deep end repeatedly in Mexico, someone that is here to win on Sunday. And a very, very dangerous fight for Galal Yafai. And I said yesterday in interviews, not that Galal Yafai won't have the ability or the skill to deal with Bautista, but what happens when the fight goes 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds? This is going to be a thrilling debut for Galal Yafai, and I think he should be particularly applauded for moving at this kind of pace. Carlos, I'll start with you via your interpreter as well. Welcome to the UK. We've seen so many Mexican fighters achieve so much here. You're fighting a debutant on Sunday. Should be a great fight.
Bienvenido. Carlos, hemos visto muchos boxeadores mexicanos aquí, pero el domingo estás frente a alguien que hace su debut profesional. Entonces, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo te encuentras antes de este combate?
Bueno, me encuentro contento al estar aquí en esta gran función. Yo sé que no importa que sea su debut de Galay, él viene preparado igual que yo y vamos a dar una guerra arriba del ring.
Okay, first of all, thanks very much. I'm really happy to be here on this excellent bill. It's going to be a great night. To be fair, whether or not Galay is making his debut or not, it's not totally relevant for me. All I know is that he'll be ready. Whatever he's experienced in the past, I'll be ready as well. And I think it's going to be, we're going to have a war, and it's going to be a great contest.
And finally, Carlos, obviously we know that he's achieved a lot as an amateur, but the professional game, very different. You're going to look to make it as tough as you can for him on Sunday.
Tienes la intención de hacerlo muy difícil para él, porque ya sabemos que el boxeo amateur no tiene nada que ver con lo profesional. Lo vas a hacerlo muy difícil para él, ¿no?
Bueno, es lo que digo, cada quien viene bien preparado. No creo que Galay no se haya preparado para 10 rounds. Yo sí, y vengo muy fuerte.
No, as I said before, I think it's the past is not so relevant. We're both going to be ready. I don't think he's going to be any less prepared for 10 rounds than myself, and we'll be going out for it, all out for it, both of us.
Well, Galal, welcome. Just a couple of days away now. I won't lie, I was a little bit nervous yesterday at the workout. You weren't in the slightest, but saw Bautista come. Obviously, for him, it's a massive opportunity, massive occasion as well for you. Gold medal in Tokyo here, a lot of expectation on your shoulder, coming out over 10 rounds as well. You look very, very calm, relaxed, ready to make your professional debut at the O2 Arena.
It's starting to be here. I'm used to being stuck in the middle of Russia or somewhere. I should better not mention Russia, actually. Just looking to fight. Now it's good to be here, loads of cameras around, loads of people. I'm just ready to fight. It seems more real now that I see him over there speaking. The only thing I'm thinking about is fighting and putting on a show for people. And just moving on and moving forward.
Obviously, when fighters turn professional, we know that when they operate at your level, that first year or 2 years can sometimes be maybe a little bit of a lack of motivation. You're dealing with fighters that you can deal with sometimes without being prepared. Has that changed your mindset for this fight? It's very, very different. I know you're relaxed, but to go out and fight a 10-round fight against a very tough opponent on your pro debut is not done very often, but it's exciting, and obviously that must have spurred you on in camp as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's coming here to win. He's not coming here to lose. I'm the so-called golden boy. He's looking to knock me off my perch. We've had a few upsets of Mexicans coming over recently. I don't think that'll be the case Sunday, but it'll be a good learning fight for me. And I just want to remind everyone how good I am.
But this is the kind of opponent that you will look and show how special you are. Someone that's a talented fighter coming to win, trying to be aggressive, rather than someone that comes unknown, stay in their shell, trying to survive. This is where I feel like you're going to really shine against these kind of opponents.
Yeah, it's what I'm used to. When I went to Olympic Games, I'm fighting the best in the world. I don't want to fight someone who's coming to survive or just coming to just to say they fought me or to fight in a matchroom bill. I want to fight people that are going to test me, to progress me, to make me better, and I'm sure I'll show that on Sunday.
Well, I'm excited for you, nervous for you. The professional debut of Galal Yafai against Bautista for the WBC International Flyweight Championship in his first professional fight on Sunday. Now, this fight, the main event, is a fight that I'm really, really excited about. Some of my friends from the Polish media said to me yesterday, why did you choose Cieslak? This is a really, really tough fight. And the answer is because that's what we want. We want a tough fight. This man to my right, we feel, is the best cruiserweight on the planet. The most dangerous cruiserweight on the planet. In fact, pound for pound, one of the most dangerous punchers in world boxing. But if he's as special as we think he is, he should be able to beat everybody in the division. We talk about unification fights. We talk about Maris Bradis, who will be welcoming to the Dazn presentation team on Sunday. We talk about Gulamarin. We talk about Makabu. This man to my left is up there on all those levels of those fighters. And we want to see Lawrence Okolie tested against an elite cruiserweight. This fight, by far, the toughest fight of Lawrence Okolie's career so far. We're looking for him to make a major statement at the O2. But MICHAL CIESLAK is coming to become world champion with plenty of Polish support, with a big team of people behind him. And we'll start with the trainers. Andres, welcome. MICHAL looks in tremendous shape. You have a great team here ready to win. You believe that on Sunday MICHAL will become WBO world champion.
Witam panie Andrzeju. Widzę, że Michał jest w bardzo dobrej formie i jest gotowy do walki w niedzielę.
Witam wszystkich serdecznie. Tak, mogę potwierdzić, że Michał Cieślak jest przygotowany, gotowy do walki w niedzielę. Gotowy do tego, żeby wyjść w niedzielę i wygrać naszego pana Okoliego.
Welcome everybody. I can confirm that Michał Cieślak, he is very well prepared for the fight on Sunday. He will go out there and he will defeat our opponent, Mr. Okolie.
We talk about the power of Lawrence Okolie. You clearly feel that Michał can handle that power. Two Polish fighters that he's defeated along the way, Jazuski and Glowacki, but you feel that Michał is a level above those guys and he can also handle the power of Lawrence Okolie.
Myśmy dużo mówili o sile Lorenza Okoliego, prawda? On wygrał 2 walki z polskimi przeciwnikami, Jerzewskim oraz Głowackim. I czy teraz Cieślak będzie mógł mu sprostać?
Ja myślę, że pan Eddie po prostu się przekona w niedzielę, jak to może to zrobić.
I think that you, Mr. Eddie, will find out on Sunday and it will be confirmed how we do it.
Thank you, Mr. Andre. Thank you.
Dziękuję, panie Andrzej.
Shane, this is a fight I'm really excited about. Again, speaking to a lot of people yesterday, they were quite surprised by this pick from us and from the team as well. I don't even think you even had a say in the pick. I don't even think you cared who was put forward. The answer is always yes. Yeah. And I just feel that we want the unification fights, we want those big fights, but this is a genuine elite cruiserweight matchup between a guy that I feel is better than some of the champions as well, but the kind of fight where Lawrence Okolie can really show what he's all about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cieslak put on a fantastic performance against Makabu, and I thought it was arguably he could have won that fight. So he's coming in he's only got the one blemish on his record, but these are the fights that we need for Lawrence Okolie. He is the best cruiserweight in the world. I know that for a fact. We just got to go out there and prove it now.
Yesterday I was doing an interview and I heard the shots raining down on the pads with Lawrence. I've never heard anything like it. It looks like he's punching freer and harder than he's ever hit before in his career.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work. I mean, he joined me in early 2019. He's always had power. He's now learned how to maintain the distance, be a bit more disciplined. Keep range, and he's still learning all the time. That's the scary thing, you know. When he moves up to heavyweight, I believe he's gonna be a 2-weight world champion. He's gonna win a heavyweight world title one day as well. So massive hopes for Lawrence, and I think he's going to be the real showing of his true ability on Sunday.
Thank you, Shane. Michal, welcome. Again, a lot of people believe that this is a bad pick from Lawrence Okolie, that you are a very, very dangerous man in the cruiserweight division. I know your friends at the Polish media, your Polish supporters that will be in the O2, and yourself believe that you will become world champion on Sunday.
Witam, Michale. Dużo ludzi mówi, że wybranie ciebie na przeciwnika Lorenza Okoliego jest złe dla niego i masz tutaj wsparcie polskich mediów, polskich kibiców i wszyscy czekają na niedzielę.
Dzień dobry, witam wszystkich. Powiem wam tak szczerze, nie interesuje mnie co tam ludzie mówią. Cieszy mnie to, że jest wsparcie tutaj ze strony kibiców, ze strony mediów, ale tak naprawdę nie skupiam się na tym, skupiam się na sobie i na tym, co muszę zrobić w niedzielę.
Welcome everybody. To be honest, I don't care what other people think, like media or supporters. I'm focused on myself and I'm focused on what I'm going to do on Sunday.
This fight, obviously a huge fight for Polish boxing as well. This fight live on Dazn in Poland. We have a lot of subscribers there who are huge boxing fans as well. We know that you are kind of carrying the flag now for Polish boxing. This would be a huge victory for your country.
Także ta walka jest dużą walką dla polskiego boksu. Będzie transmitowana na żywo, będzie dużo fanów oglądało ją na żywo. Jest to flagowa walka i dużo ludzi na to liczy.
No tak, z tego co wiem, bardzo dużo kibiców będzie ode mnie z miasta, z Radomia, spod Radomia, także też to bardzo cieszy. Z Polski ogólnie dużo kibiców, także już nie mogę się doczekać tej walki.
Yes, I know about it. I'm aware that there will be a lot of supporters from my city, Radom, and from around my city, and from other places in Poland, and I can't wait to fight this bout.
And finally, you believe that you become world champion on Sunday. How do you do it, and how big is the threat that the power that Lawrence Okolie carries going into this ring?
I na koniec, ty wierzysz, że zostaniesz mistrzem świata w niedzielę. Jak mocno w to wierzysz? Co myślisz na temat, jak silne są uderzenia pana Okoli?
Skupiam się na dzień dzisiejszy tylko i wyłącznie na sobie, także nie interesuje mnie to, jak mocno biję i ja wychodzę po swoje, zrobić swoją robotę i będziemy świętować już w poniedziałek. Z moimi kibicami będziemy oblewać ten pas.
Today I'm focusing on myself, so I'm not interested in how hard he punches and how strong he is. I'm gonna go there on Sunday. I'll do what I do, and we'll be celebrating then.
Lawrence, this is a real fight. This is a real fight. I mean, you've beaten everybody that's been put in front of you. You've never said no to an opponent. You've gone through British cruiserweight, European levels, but you've never really had a test, in my opinion, like Cieslak. Is this the time where we're really going to get to see the very best of Lawrence Okolie?
Well, we'll see. Like I said, I've had 17 fights, 14 by KO. On the weekend, it'll be 18, 15 by KO. I think it's fine. Everyone can say what they want about the opponent until after beating them, and then we'll be on to the next one, and then we'll see what everyone says about him.
In your opinion, you know, you talk about that power. I saw it yesterday as well. There is a lot of talk about the power. Important not to get carried away. You talk about the fundamentals that you've improved on with Shane McGuigan as well. Not just looking to show power, but everything you've improved on since working with Shane.
Yeah, I think power is secondary. It's more so for fans and my opponents to watch and see what I'm doing. But in the ring, as I'm going to show on Saturday, there's so many other things that I do that get overlooked, but it will end in KO, which is why people care about the power.
I know you're not looking past Cieslak, but Mariusz Brady's in attendance on Sunday, and of course everybody looking at a potential unification, people talking about moving up to heavyweight and challenging for the world heavyweight title, but absolutely all are focused on MICHAL CIESLAK.
Yeah, nothing else has mattered since the fight got signed but Cieslak, and it's up to me to wipe the smile off his face and all of his Polish teammates' faces on Sunday.
Confident this fight ends inside the distance?
Yeah, it's a must. 100% KO. 100 million% KO.
Well, we look forward to seeing a brilliant fight, the WBO Cruiserweight World Championship, Lawrence Okolie against MICHAL CIESLAK. It's a tremendous, tremendous fight this Sunday in the ring around 9 p.m. live on Dazn. It's the start of a big 5-week run on Dazn. Of course, Okolie CIESLAK this Sunday. Next Saturday in San Diego, the incredible fight between Chocolatito and Julio Cesar Martinez. The week after, sold out in Nottingham for Michael Conlan against Lee Wood for the WBA Featherweight Championship. Then the week after, we're in Los Angeles for Virgil Ortiz against Michael Mickelson. And the week after, Josh Warrington looks to become a 2-time world champion against Spain's Kiko Martinez. But first, this Sunday, tremendous card at the O2 live on Dazn. We're going to break for head-to-heads now, and the guys will be available for media. Thank you.
So a 100% chance of a knockout, Lawrence Okolie says. We've done the breakdown of this fight on the Dazn platform, I think available now. But for people that haven't seen that yet, what do you think Cieslak is going to present in terms of a danger that some of his other opponents today haven't presented?
I think, one, he brings it. He doesn't tend to stand off his opponents. He likes to get stuck in. He forces the action. And I think sometimes because of the stature, the reach, the range that Lawrence Okolie sort of establishes early on, fighters tend to, against Okolie, stand off.
Yeah.
And you won't see that with Cieslak. I expect him to try and get stuck in. Throws a lovely jab and he works to the body well. But as we see against Golovacki, Okolie's very, very smart. He dips his knees as Golovacki went down and he threw a right hand. So we could see a similar sort of pattern. But as far as Cieslak's concerned, the one thing I'm looking forward to is that first bell going and him trying to dictate the pace.
Good body puncher as well, and Lawrence Okolie's made no secret of the fact that the weight is getting a lot tighter. That's one of the reasons why he's looking north to heavyweight. But Shane McGuigan then say as well, and Eddie agrees with him, that he could be a two-weight world champion. Of course, they mentioned there Myris Breedis will be in the studio on Sunday night. You wouldn't expect that he would come all this way over to watch a fight if he didn't now intend on making that unification happen at some point later in the year. We know the Sauerland's got a great relationship with Eddie Hearn and have put on some good events with him over the years. But we also know his options in terms of chasing Jake Paul and Canelo have kind of run their course. So does this seem for you like the last logical option for Myris Breedis at the age of, I think he's in the mid to late 30s now?
Yeah, I would say so. It can be the only real reason, unless he's trying to drum up a bit more publicity. He starts dropping Jake Paul's name again. But look, he's a very good fighter. One of the best fighters I've watched live. Breedis, very, very good. So dangerous, big punching. But it's what's left. I feel the way that he's gone mad about Jake Paul and he's trying his best to get that fight, for me, shows that he's sort of content with the real boxing career he's had and now he's looking to cash out.
It's Campbell Hatton in action against Joe Duck, who's kind of a win one, lose one type of fighter. This will be Campbell's 6th outing as a professional, turned over just under a year ago, so he's been nice and busy and active. Had a little bit of criticism after that fight at Spurs Stadium in front of way too many people, to be quite honest, and they scaled him back in Spain at the back end of the year, and he's had a nice rest and looking forward to getting back to action. John Hedges will be on before the bell, as well as Dempsey McKean. All starts 3 p.m. On the Matchroom Boxing YouTube channel on DAZN as well. Darren and I will be there. I think we've got Joe Cordina sitting with us as well, who's been sharing a gym with Dempsey McKean. He's had a quiet couple of months, but we're looking forward to seeing him back in action as well. So we'll be hearing from Joe Cordina on Sunday afternoon as well. And then a man who Joe Cordina knows very, very well, and I can remember the day that they qualified together for the Rio Olympic Games, just how excited they both were to share that moment together. He and Anthony Fowler go back a long way, and he will no doubt be cheering him on Sunday night. And the man opposite him, Lucas Maciek, is he's season pro, 27-3. He's been in with some decent fighters as well. He'll provide some kind of resistance at middleweight. But Fowler, I think, was no surprise to hear him talk about being so tight at the weight in the Smith fight, and he was very, very dangerous early, but as he said, he did fade quite considerably in that contest and allowed Liam Smith to then take over from the midpoint, and of course he was stopped, I think it was in the 8th round. But hell of a fight that, and if Fowler can translate that kind of form with a better engine, better resistance, and all round levelled up in terms of his overall attributes, he could be a very dangerous fighter at middleweight.
Yeah, he's a handful. But now he's a different animal altogether because he's going to be strong at the weight, not drained at the weight. I always said I had no idea why he dropped down to super welter in the first place.
No, he's got his beautiful baby boy and his partner just to our right here. You could hear him gurgling away at the press conference there. And there's the big figure of Daniel Marks, 6'7" tall, Fabio Wardley's opponent. He's been in with guys like Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker, Bryant Jennings, and the best have stopped him early. And that's what Fabio Wardley wants to show after 9 months out of the ring, that he too can put on a statement against somebody like Daniel Marks, who can punch. I think he's got 19 stoppages from his 20. Tends to be dangerous early, but he also tends to get hurt early in fights. That's pretty much the story of his career.
Yeah, it is. He does look very dangerous on the offense, but in defence, when he's sort of tagged with a couple of shots, he's not too happy about getting it. So I expect Fabio to stick it on the early doors.
He feels. It's fun. And there is the EBU European featherweight champion, Karrion Guerfi. He's been the European champion, I think, 4 different times at maybe 2 or 3 different weight divisions. Had a very, very good career. Been in with Zhanny Zakyanov. And Jordan Gill, I think, will represent a very different challenge to anything he's experienced so far. And there was some niceties there at the press conference, and he's got a good personality.
Yeah.
But Jordan Gill has worked so hard for this opportunity that when that first bell goes, he will be, I think, as focused as he's ever been in a boxing.
No, I think we'll see the best of Jordan Gill. I'm hoping so. There's a lot of boxes been ticked by Jordan, and I'm really expecting to see the best of him.
And will we see the best of this man over the next couple of years? A 10-rounder for his debut after a sterling Olympic campaign in Tokyo, where he came away with a gold medal after winning 5 bouts in 13 days. Galao Yafai, part of the brilliant boxing trio, Cao and Gamal. European and world titles between them, will both be here on Sunday Night Live at the O2 to support their younger brother on. And what an amazing talent this young kid is, and we're looking forward to seeing him in the pros.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's always exciting when we get someone like a standout amateur like that turning pro. Seen it through all the years, and most recently Anthony Joshua. So yeah, really, really looking forward to seeing him in action, as I am this man.
Yes, he was on the squad with Lawrence Okolie, and they went to the Rio Olympics in 2016 together. They boxed on WSB squads together, and how Lawrence Okolie has progressed in those last 5 years as a pro. 17-0, 14 stoppages, and against a very, very dangerous opponent in MICHAL CIESLAK, who is no small man himself at this weight. He can punch. He's got brilliant sort of knuckle placement. He gets up close, works the body really, really well. Yeah. And of all the opponents that we said need to get close, he's actually very good at getting close, changing angles, punching to the body. And if there are any vulnerabilities because of a slightly tight weight making process that we know Lawrence is no doubt going through, he could be the man to cause an upset on Sunday.
He could well do, like you say. He gets under the jab of his opponent, he slips in that right to the body, and you'll see him targeting that all night. And if you are drained on the weight, the body shots really do take their toll. So it'd be really interesting, to see if this fight does go 6, 7, 8 rounds, how Okolie fares against a man who's no doubt, in my opinion, going to bring the action.
But of course, with Lawrence Okolie, the one thing you do know is the lights out power when that right hand lands, and he's not over trigger happy with that right hand these days, as he was a little bit in the early stages of his career. When you heard Shane McGuigan there just mentioning that he's always had power, but what he's learning now is how to maintain distance and discipline. And you see him in the early stages of fights these days just purely using the left hand, touching upstairs, downstairs, varying the tempo with the lead, and ultimately doesn't let go of that right hand until he's absolutely sure. And when he does, the shock factor that it has, wherever he clips his opponent, is always so visible. And you just feel that even as tough as we know Michael Cieslak is, if he gets clipped with one of those right hands in the first 3 or 4 rounds, ultimately we'll know what kind of fight we're in for.
Yeah, I like the way that Okolie for a couple of rounds doesn't get trigger happy with the right hand, like you say. But he'll start using the jab, a few feints, and he almost brings his opponents onto him, then lets the right hand go, and you got someone coming onto the force of the shot.
Well, it's always nice having a guest appearance from Anthony Fowler there. Bring the family through. Don't worry, mate. Absolutely fine. Yeah, it's fine.
He likes to bring opponents onto the shots, and that's obviously added power and force. So really looking forward to seeing how this fight develops as it goes on.
So all starts 3 o'clock on our YouTube channel on Sunday afternoon, live from the O2 Arena in London, with Campbell Hatton, Dempsey McKean, John Hedges, and then we kick proceedings off with Chev Clark's debut at 5 o'clock local time here in London. Whole host of action on the bill as well. Jordan Gill back in action, boxing for the European title. Fabio Wardley too, and of course all eyes on our main event in London. Lawrence Okolie making the second defence of his WBO Cruiserweight World Championship against Poland's Michael Cieslak. Thanks for your company this afternoon. We will see you same time for tomorrow's weigh-in.
The O2, the best venue in the country for boxing. Lawrence Okolie will make the second defence of his title.
This is a stage that I was made for. This is a fight I was made for. I got to make sure that I handle business.
The star, Lawrence Okolie! Do you need any sauce?
Unquestionably the toughest fight of Lawrence Okolie's career so far.
If I believe I'm going to go on and unify the division, I have to be able to beat people like Cieslak and beat them in good fashion.